I'd like to welcome Amy Pearson to the Sui-Ling show.
Yay.
Right, Amy, I've got a couple of questions. Tell me about your job and what you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sui-Ling. So
Mm,
I am an academic psychologist. I work at
mm.
Durham University. So I, in my job, conduct research, I teach students, and then I do various admin jobs as well. And I have been working at Durham University since January of this year.
Blimey, quite a lot then. Okay, what is the autistic guide to healthy relationships?
Yeah, so this is a guide that I developed off the back of a piece of research that I conducted with some colleagues and friends of mine.
Mm,
So we were really interested in learning more about autistic relationships. We know
mm.
that lots of autistic people have experienced violence and abuse in their
Yeah.
relationships.
Mm.
And that was something that really worried us. We wanted to know what people thought of those experiences and what we could do to provide them better support. Um, so we developed the guide based on what we found. We interviewed some autistic adults about their experiences, and then we used what they told us in order to develop this guide. So it takes what the participants said and
Mm.
it gives advice to other autistic people about how to stay safe in relationships and the kinds of things to look for that might help you to recognize when a relationship is healthy or when it's unhealthy and unsafe.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. What is the best part of your job?
Oh, that's such a good and quite hard question. um, I love doing research, and the
Mm.
reason that I love research is that I am a really curious person. So I like learning about people. I'm very nosy, and so
No,
I like to to
I'm
understand as
like
much
that
about people.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
It's a good way to be, right? It helps you to learn about people. But the other reason that I really enjoy research is that I think it gives me an opportunity to try and find out more about the things we can do to improve people's lives.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important thing to do as a researcher and as a psychologist is to think about how we can improve the lives of autistic people and other neurodivergent people because sometimes society isn't as kind to us as it could be. So I think finding out ways to stop that and make it better is something that's really worthwhile and part of my job that I love.
Right. Okay. What are the biggest challenges in your job?
Oh, that's another really, really hard one. What are the biggest challenges? Time is a
Mm.
big challenge. So having enough time to do all of the things that I want to do. I like to say yes to lots and lots of things.
Oh yeah,
And
you're like me then. That's what I do.
yeah,
I always say like, "Would you like to do this?" Yes.
yes,
And people say to me, "You say no," but it depends on what the job is. You see.
it's true, right? Yeah, it's true. So you end up saying yes, and then you're like, oh, where am I going to find the time to do that?
Yeah.
So I think time's a huge challenge.
What would be your top tips for a healthy relationship?
Yeah, so I think my top tips for a healthy relationship are some really basic and simple things that I think people can think about. So, one of the questions I would ask myself is, do I feel safe in a
Mm.
relationship with somebody? Do
Yeah.
they make me feel like I'm safe? And do they make me feel like I'm respected? Um, Lots of people have relationships where they don't feel like they can safely be themselves,
Mm.
where they feel like they don't have choices that they should be
Yeah.
allowed to have. And I think feeling safe is something really important. And I think a way to establish that, to have that with other people, is to be really clear about what your needs are. So, what do you need from a relationship and what helps it to
Mm.
work for you?
Yeah.
And what are your boundaries? So, what are the things that you definitely won't do and you don't want to budge on that? And what are the things that you enjoy doing and that you might enjoy doing with the other person?
Right. Okay. Amy, how do you get hold of this guide?
So, You can access the guide by going to the Durham University Centre for Neurodiversity and Development website.
Okay.
And there's a link on the section called Impact and Engagement. And the resource is called Healthy Relationships for Autistic People.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh,
I always ask the person when they finish if you have any questions.
Yeah, I guess I would ask, what do you think a healthy relationship looks like?
I'm actually in a relationship with a guy who's autistic because we've been together for like 12 years now. So, and I think relationship is it's nice together, do things together, because I helped him with lots of things, like he wouldn't get on the buses or anything. So I helped him get on the buses, and I also helped him get into clubs and things, because what autistic people don't like lights and things.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's lovely. And I think you've highlighted an aspect of good, healthy relationships there that is really important, which is that people in good relationships support each other, right? So we take care of each other, which is really nice.
Yeah. Right, I would like to say thank you for coming on the Sui-Ling show.
Thank you so much for having me, Sui-Ling. It's been a pleasure. It's nice to see you again.